Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation.
Hi Josh, it's Tuomas.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going really well, thank you.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
No problem at all.
Oh, awesome. Well, of course, we're here to talk about the brand new album from Wolfheart, Constellation of the Black Light, which is coming out the 28th of September. I've gotten the chance to be able to check this out over the last week, and it just really feels like Wolfheart just continues to get stronger and stronger with every release, and I feel like this is some of the finest work that you've done as Wolfheart so far. I mean, I love the epicness of what's going on there. I love the cascading feel of so many of the songs, the melodic parts hitting with the brutality. It just hits on so many levels, and I love where you guys are at right now.
Thank you. I do like to hear that because, of course, we try to, do better on the previous albums always. And I think the previous one, Two Views, was quite a difficult album to top. But then again, we did like a shitload of work for this album to get better in every aspect. So, but then again, as a songwriter, and when you spend too much time in the studio, you are a little bit too much inside the box. And of course, to me, these are new songs, so they sound fresh and new compared to the old ones. So I'm not the best guy to analyze the album yet. But it's good to hear that you like it.
Oh, definitely. So with that said, how did the songwriting process begin for this album?
In the same way that it actually goes with every album. I do write music and come up with ideas like constantly. I don't just sit down and I don't have this certain kind of like a phase where I write. It's just they come all the time, and I started writing the songs pretty much after the previous album was out, because that's what I do. I pick up the guitar, watch something on the Netflix, and then start play just something, and then something comes up, and if it's cool, I will continue from that. So it's an ongoing process. So it's nothing it's really not something I need to do. It's just something that happens constantly.
And it's a great way to be able to do it as well. I mean, as long as that inspiration and creativity are there. I mean, as soon as you got an idea and you're able to write something on a guitar or any other instrumentation, or if you have any ideas, I mean, the fact that you're willing to work on it so quickly after an album comes out, I mean, it's great to see that inspiration and creativity going.
I do have 2 demos on myself already for the next album. Or I don't know will they be on the next album, but I already started having ideas and recording some riffs and bits of melodies. But that's the thing, that always when I play guitar, I just like to, create something new, something cool, something that sounds nice. So it happens constantly.
So with that being the case, I mean, when did things start feeling right for this album? Like, when did you know it was starting to go into the right direction when you were coming up with ideas for the album?
It actually goes the other way around. Because I was born in the early 80s, and the way I consume music is I always listen to full albums. I'm not really into this, like buying individual songs in iTunes or releasing individual songs in Spotify. I'm more into like making this one whole piece of music. And as soon as I get the first idea that I know in my head, this is probably going to be on the album, it sounds cool, then I just start building the album already. Like I'm building and crafting songs for the album, not just making a bunch of songs and ideas and then, picking the best, like picking the berries out from the basket, so to speak, and then making the album of those songs. So I'm just slowly crafting the album like riff by riff. So basically I build the album already from the first riff in a way, and then I just start expanding the whole idea.
And I really appreciate that. I mean, that's what I've always appreciated about Wolfheart's music. I mean, now that you mention it that way, it's like I'm looking back at the past catalog and I'm being able to hear how that really sounds, and I can really hear it this time around with this new album as well. I mean, that's why I have a hard time listening to singles. Like, I'm also of that mindset of like being able to hear something as a full album, the way that the track listing is supposed to be, or if it's one piece of music, having it separated, but also making sure to go from start to finish, because that's how a good album is supposed to be.
Exactly, yeah.
So with that said, I mean, obviously with the idea of like making this a full-fledged album, you know, making sure that you can hear it from start to finish and really getting the idea of what's going on with it, how hard was it for you to be able to decide what to show off before the album comes out?
It is usually really difficult because, like I said, like I rather craft a full album than individual songs, and then picking up one song to represent the whole album is, to me, it's impossible to imagine there would be one song. Breakwater did really good job. It has the aggressive side, it has the more epic side, slower epic melodies in the end, so it kind of paints the picture of the album quite well, but it is always really difficult. And the song that I really would have wanted to present as the first single would have been Everlasting Fall, but it's almost 11 minutes long, so out of the question. But musically, that would have been the one that I would have wanted to play to everybody as the first song from the album. But we have a good management, we have a good record label. I do accept advices from them when it comes to things like this, because again, I'm a little bit wrong guy to ask these opinions, because I'm too much inside the box. I have a personal connection with the songs. I don't listen to songs in that, you know, point of view that what listeners might like. I have my own connections with the songs. But it is always difficult. It was really difficult this time because there's only 7 songs in the album, because the lengths of the songs are getting longer. So it is a shitty thing. If I would have the budget, I would make 5 videos for this album. That's actually even more tricky, to pick up the video songs, not just the single songs, because I get these strong visual ideas of many of the songs, and I can only make max 2 or 3 videos. So
yeah, and I've noticed that as well. And you know, I've been watching the Breakwater video, and I love the cinematography that's going on with it. I love the visuals, the colors that are used throughout the song, and you know, just like I feel it was a great representation of that song. And to contrast that, just a few hours ago, seeing that the Saw got the visual representation as well, and in the best way possible, that was a really hard video to watch.
Yeah, right. Because we have already 2 videos from the festival footage. We have 1 video with mainly studio footage, 2 videos with the footage in the studio, and then a lot of this like cool landscapes from Lapland, Norway, now Iceland. So now I wanted to have 1 video that has really small space, really narrow, just creating the mood with one guy in one room, one table, and also with the pulling of the feet is guaranteed to have strong reactions. I didn't mean it to be like, I didn't want the video to be disturbing, but I did want to get some stronger reactions. So so far when I look at the comments in YouTube and Facebook, it really did the job.
Yeah, I mean, I love the song already, and then seeing the visual representation of it with it, especially at the end, I love the way that the story turned out, but everything leading up to the ending, I mean, it does have that disturbing feel to it that is hard to watch, but I've watched it a few times now today, and, you know, it's like I'm starting to really get more of a feel for it, and I'm understanding it a lot more, but yeah, that initial shock is pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, with that said, I mean, obviously with you already having ideas in mind for the next album, how does it feel to be able to have this album coming out in just a few weeks now?
It's really cool, really cool. We had a lot of problems making the album, not the actual recordings, not the sound, not the production, not the mixing, but everybody seemed to have their personal bad karma hitting at the same time when we were going to the studio. Our drummer went to the emergency surgery, like back surgery, right after the studio. There was some family loss in one of the guys in the band, really fucking up the schedules on his part naturally. So there was a lot of obstacles this time, but at one point I wasn't sure that we're gonna make it in time, like we're gonna reach the deadline, because the label really wanted to push the album out just before the US tour, which makes completely sense, and I do agree, it's a lot better this way, but that meant like there's very little room to any like a rescheduling with the recordings or the mixing or the master. And at one point there was no certainty that it will actually be out in time, but then again, I really like the management, because those guys also, you know, have a background to be a musician in really famous bands, and being in the industry for like 25 years, I think, already. And we had a long talks about the production, and they told me many times, like, the last thing we're going to do is compromise with the music. So if there's smallest doubt in my mind that there's going to be compromise with the production because we are in a hurry, then we're just going to postpone the release. So I didn't get any pressure from the label or the management to rush the schedule or anything. So that, I think that was the biggest factor for me to actually able to make it in time. But now having the album out after all that shitty things with the schedules is really big relief.
Yeah, I can absolutely imagine so. I mean, with so many terrible things happening to everyone in the band, I mean, it's great to see that everyone on the outside was able to support you. I mean, be it the label, be it the fans. I mean, being outside family, I'm sure, was able to help with the personal struggles as well. I mean, just the fact that you were able to push on the way that you guys have and, making sure that you could hit the deadlines. I'm sure, like you said, like if there was any problems, I'm sure something could have been worked out. But the fact that you guys were able to still continue on the way that you did and put out such an amazing album from the production work, the songwriting, everything going into it, I mean, it's just so miraculous to see that.
Yeah, and it was a really good circumstances because, like you said, there was a lot of support from outside the band, and I would have hated the situation when the album comes out and I would know that there's something that could have been done better, because it will take for me at least 1.5 years to go back to studio and correct that mistake. That will actually follow the entire album until I die, basically. I've done that before with my previous bands. I did that trick once that I thought it's going to be okay for me, but always when you do compromises, they will follow you in the end.
Absolutely, and it's great to see that you continue on to have that as well. I mean, making sure that everything is going the way that you want it to be, and keeping the compromises as minimal as possible if there has to be any compromising at all. I mean, just making sure that you can keep your artistic vision and your integrity going, because that's always going to make for the best artistic music, and that's absolutely what I hear with this album.
Yeah, I do think that is really like a key factor also to for the listeners, that they can find something unique and kind of like soul in the music. Okay, I don't believe in soul or anything spiritual, but I just wanted to use that term. But they hear something deeper with the music. It's not just a background noise when you are driving a car or cleaning your apartment. And that is something, when I listen to music, that is what I need to hear in the music. So, and I think if you rush or if you do compromises, that is the first thing you're going to lose from the music. You might be able to do really top-notch production. The sound would be like the best in this universe, but you would miss this one layer that is actually like yourself in the music.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more with that. And that is so important when it comes to that artistic vision. I mean, like, listening to this album, like, if anything would have had been cut out, like the blast beats at the right moments, or the right melodic moments at the right moments, or the production work, whatever the case is, I mean, if anything would have lessened the album, I'm sure that it would have impacted the band, the sound, and the fans' enjoyment of the album.
Exactly, yeah.
So, with all of that said, I mean, of course, with the amazing timing of being able to get this album out and coming here to North America with Carach ANgren on an amazing North American tour, what's it going to be like to be able to show off where the band is now in 2018 in a live setting?
It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really cool. We've been touring quite much in Europe with the past albums, and I really think we can really put the best of us ever on the stage. And things like we play more we play together, more we enjoy playing together. So I think there's a lot of energy coming from the band towards the audience, mainly because of that also, because everybody really wants to be on the stage, play together, play the songs to the audience. So I think the energy is the biggest issue. It's not what we do, but why we do it. And people will sense that, like, if you are there and you enjoy what you're doing. So it's going to be really cool. It's my first time in US anyway, and today we got the last visas approved, which is the shittiest thing of ever, trying to get the working permits and the visas when you are preparing for the first tour and you are from Europe and you're coming to States. That is a shitty thing.
Oh, I can absolutely imagine so.
Lawyers and officials and embassies and shitload of documents, months of time of waiting to get get the answers, and there's no certainty because we are not that big of a band. There was quite a bit work only just, to prove the officials that we are actually a band. Like sending them the interview copies and everything, like there's actual things happening. We are actually releasing an album. We are a relevant band. So, and since we've been touring much in Europe, we never got used to this kind of thing, because in Europe, you just fly there, you play, and you come home. We did a tour in Canada in June, and same there. You just fly there, book the flights, play some metal, go back home, that's it. So, it's like even 100 times easier to get the visa to Russia.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest downsides to being here or at least coming here to America to be able to tour is the visa issues. I mean, from the price, from the interviews, from setting everything up, and all the extra expenses that comes with it, both financially and otherwise. But that makes me so glad to see that everything has been approved, and hopefully with such an amazing tour package that's going on and hitting so many areas of America, it'll make all of that struggle that's gone on through the recording of the album, through the visa issues, worth it when you finally get here and show off what you guys are capable of in the American setting.
I'm pretty sure it will pay off.
Previous to that, I think that was a good spot to be able to wrap things up here, just talk about everything that's going on with Wolfheart, the brand new album coming out the 28th of September through Napalm Records. I absolutely love the album. I love the fact that everything worked out the way that it should to be able to come over here to North America and on such an amazing tour with Carach ANgren and anything possibly happening in the future. And I really appreciate you taking this time to be able to talk to me.
It was my pleasure. It was really, really smooth and nice interview.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'd love to be able to do that as much as I can, because I love the music that I'm able to help promote. And this is obviously with Wolfheart. I mean, I have a huge attachment to the band, and I absolutely love this new album, and I want to be able to showcase you guys in the right light as much as possible.
Thank you.